The best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing.
Now at 4, stunning fall from grace. Governor Cuomo resigns under escalating political pressure after the bombshell report accusing him of sexual misconduct. Good afternoon. We thank you for joining us. I'm Natalie Pasquarella.
And I'm Adam Cooperstein in for David Ushery. Governor Cuomo was one of the most prominent Democratic governors in America. He was applauded, of course, early last year for his leadership guiding New York during the pandemic, though today he resigned in disgrace after months of controversy and growing pressure, saying he no longer wants to be a distraction to New Yorkers.
The governor's resignation will take effect 2 weeks from today on August 24th, making way for Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul to take over, becoming the first woman to lead the state. We have a team of reporters covering every angle of this story this afternoon. We start with News 4's Andrew Siff live at the governor's Midtown office. Andrew.
Natalie, no question about it. Until the governor actually said it, no one knew what he was going to say. Almost every elected official in the state had been calling for his resignation for the last week. Many of them had been calling for his resignation for months, but the governor had resisted until today, giving New Yorkers 2 weeks' notice.
My instinct is to fight through this controversy.
He fought back for a week, but today Governor Andrew Cuomo, in his first public appearance since the Attorney General's report, suddenly shifted gears.
Given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing.
Kathy Hochul would take the oath 2 weeks from now, becoming the first woman to lead the state. Today, the lieutenant governor said, as someone who has served at all levels of government and is next in the line of succession, I am prepared to lead as New York State's 57th governor.
She can come up to speed quickly, and my resignation will be effective in 14 days.
The stunning announcement came about 10 minutes after Cuomo's most detailed response to the AG's assertion he sexually harassed 11 women.
The reaction was outrage. It should have been. However, it was also false.
The governor alternated between refuting his accusers and apologizing to them, notably a female state trooper who accused Cuomo of touching her inappropriately.
I want to personally apologize to her and her family. I have the greatest respect for her and for the New York State Police.
The governor's resignation speech minutes after his lawyer blasted the Assembly's pre-impeachment hearing in Albany as a rush to judgment against her client.
He's been convicted in the media and the Assembly. Most of the members have made up their mind without hearing the other side.
Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie said this has been a tragic chapter in our state's history. Governor Cuomo's resignation is the right decision. Meanwhile, AG Letitia James said today closes a sad chapter for all of New York, but it's an important step towards justice. I thank Governor Cuomo for his contributions to our state. The ascension of our Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul will help New York enter a new day. And Lindsey Boylan, the first of 11 accusers, said, my hope always has been this will make it safer for other women to report their own harassment and abuse. The governor turned personal near the end of his speech today with a message to his 3 daughters.
I want them to know from the bottom of my heart that I never did and I never would intentionally disrespect a woman or treat any woman differently than I would want them treated. And that is the God's honest truth.
He then waved from behind the wheel of his state-issued Dodge Charger, drove to the heliport, and took off for Albany. Now, the Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins called today a somber day for the state of New York. Governor Cuomo took no questions as he left his office today and headed back for Albany. We're live on the east side. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
Okay, Andrew, thank you. And as these reactions come in, we just heard from Democratic ally of Governor Cuomo, President Biden, who weighed in on the resignation.
I respect the governor's decision, and I respect the decision he made.
The president did call on the governor to resign last week after the investigation was released by the attorney general. Now, we've heard Governor Cuomo talk many times about growing up in Queens. News 4's Pei Chang is there in his home borough with reaction. Pei.
Yeah, you know, exactly. What do people think here? This is the hometown of Andrew Cuomo, where he grew up, where he was raised to be the politician that he is. How do they feel about the resignation? Turns out it was pretty much divided. Some saying it was time to go, and others saying they were willing to give him time to hear his case.
It's always sad when something happens like this. It's always sad.
New Yorkers reacting to news of Governor Andrew Cuomo's resignation.
And it's very disappointing to me, but I don't condone what he did.
Cuomo was facing mounting pressure to resign, including from President Biden, after an investigation substantiated reports he sexually harassed women, including those who worked for him.
This country has a standard. You're accused of something like that and the evidence is out, so yeah, you should step down.
It's a pleasure to be home for me. Queens is home.
The governor often spoke proudly about his Queens upbringing, and folks in Hollis appreciated that.